I'm here with David the Beekeeper, co-founder of Honeybee NFT. David.
Wow.
So I have some questions. I have some bee-related questions for you. The first question really relates to bee. Like there's bee, the insect. Are they insects?
They are.
Okay. So there's bee, the insect. There's also bee, the letter, and they sound the same.
True. So true. Be the verb. I use the letter all the time.
Right. Even to spell bee. So that's where I get confused. Is that something you can clear up for me?
Right. One of the really important ones.
They didn't make it second for no reason.
I was going to say it's not the first letter, but it's up there.
It's really up there.
What do NFTs have to do with honeybees or beekeeping?
The thing with NFTs is they don't really have anything to do with anything specifically. They have something to do with everything because it just is a new way of owning digital assets. So that's really, I mean, all this is a new way to bring some much needed funds into the process of rescuing bees, putting them in safe, friendly hives, but it's a means that gives people direct ownership of a digital asset that then gives them access to not only the good vibes they get by helping out the bees, which we need, but also the incredible value of having a discount on honey made by those very bees that have been rescued.
It's a little bit like a super duper coupon code.
Yes. It's like, you know, those cards you get, those loyalty cards?
Yes, that's what it is.
Kids love the loyalty cards.
Yes. That's a good explanation. Okay, now
it's like a loyalty card.
Right.
And you get discounts on honey, but unlike your average loyalty card, does your average loyalty card help the bees? No, I'm sorry, it doesn't. But this one does. And that's the beauty of the NFT. Because it's digital, you can make it do anything you want. So we can make it help save the bees and give the people that are helping save the bees get discounts on honey. Win, win, win. The third win is for the bees. First win is for the people that get the NFT. I don't know who the second win is for.
Maybe the beekeepers?
The beekeepers. I forgot about them. Hey, we've got David the Beekeeper here.
Everyone forgets about him.
Let's say there's some beekeeper that we don't know that's out in Nome, Alaska.
Yeah, the people in Nome, I don't know them.
You don't know them. They might not even be there. And let's say they decide, hey, I really like what these honeybee NFT people are doing. I'm going to offer a discount to anyone that owns the NFT. They could do that. They don't even have to contact us. They can just set up on their website verifying that someone owns the NFT. And if they do, give them whatever discount they want to give them. Try that with your loyalty card. Can't be done.
Right. It's your sort of a club membership that can be honored by any business that likes who you are, that likes your values.
Right. So it's a bigger club than just us. You're joining the club of people that care about the planet, care about bees, and are doing something to help. How about that? That's a good club.
Yep.
So let's talk a little bit about beekeeping. How long have you been beekeeping?
Just almost 10 years now.
Okay. So in that 10 years, what's the most important thing you've learned about beekeeping?
The difference between feral bees that you find in the environment and bees that you buy from a breeder.
And that
difference is there are many differences. You may wish to.
Wow.
That really doesn't work for him.
That's a hard book to read.
That is, you're going to have to read that even though it's invisible. Anyway, that book is Africanized Honeybees in the Americas. So there are lots of differences. The Africanized bees generally are not nearly as gentle as the bees that you get from a queen breeder. They're also physically smaller
Is
it makes
is there something you've learned that isn't boring?
Well, you asked for the most important thing that I've learned.
Okay, what's the second most important thing? Let's try that.
Okay, one of the most important things I've learned is it's easy to get in the mindset that the honeybees do everything for themselves. So they're living in their box, they're gathering nectar, they gather pollen, they also gather tree sap, water, a few other things. And then they bring it all back home, they set up their combs, and they're a little self-sustaining society. So it's easy to look at the hive, especially when you're starting out, and think the bees have all this under control. That's not completely true. The bees can do a lot for themselves, but it's also true that they get that they need help from humans to really live as a really healthy colony, and eventually to be a productive colony, whether you want to make honey or you want to increase the size of the colony, or you want to collect propolis. They really do need a hand from a human beekeeper. Why do they need people to intervene?
I know why.
It's why?
To move large pieces of furniture. They can't do that themselves. Like a couch.
Their hive itself is a large piece of furniture. The biggest reason probably is the varroa mite, which originally came from Asia. It's a parasite that lives on a different kind of bee, but anyway, it came here in a shipment of fruit, I think is the theory. And the varroa mite feeds on fat deposits in the bee's body, and when it does that, so it attaches itself to the bee, it gets nourishment from the bee's body, but in doing so, it's a vector for passing disease from bee to bee and from colony to colony. And so combating the varroa mite is a big part of beekeeping.
I've seen, a lot of different bees just out in my backyard, and some of them are little bees and some of them are big chunky bees. Are the big chunky ones fatter? Do they have more fat?
Their whole body is bigger.
So I've got some questions from the internet. Have you heard of it?
That's the one on TV?
Yeah.
Okay.
So people on the internet don't have a lot of time, so succinct answers are appreciated.
Right.
All right. So first question from the internet is if someone is a beekeeper and you've got one of those beehive box things, first of all, what do you call that?
Yeah, the hive box.
The hive box. So you have a hive box. Let's say you have one hive box.
You just call it a hive. You just
one
say
standard hive box hive.
Yeah.
How much honey would you get from that in a year? It sounds like a math problem, really.
Right. 20 to 40 pounds. How about?
Okay. 20 to 40 pounds. That sounds like a lot.
Depending where you live, depending what the climate is, depending how much forage there is, nearby.
Here's another question from the internet. Kanye's apology, was it sufficient?
If you're gonna, either you're a Kanye person or you're not a Kanye person. Decide who you are. Decide who you are.
You told me about how the humans have to help the bees, right?
Yeah, that was me.
That was you I was talking to. So it's symbiotic.
So yeah, are you saying who helps? Do the bees help humans more? Do the humans help bees more?
I'm not making it into a contest.
It's not a contest.
You can. That's your human ways. I'm more bee oriented.
I'm competitive that way.
Yeah, I'm not competitive. So I'm better than you in that way, in that you are competitive and I'm not. So that's one way I win.
Aren't you the least competitive guy possibly in North America?
I think I would win the award for that. First place.
So there's a great book called The Botany of Desire by Michael Pollan. He discusses this idea much more articulately than I can, that from the human perspective, bees make honey for us. From the bees' perspective, humans plant all these flowers or flowering trees, and even give them boxes to live in, and even give them medical treatment when necessary. So and from the flowers perspective, if such a thing were possible, they grow and grow, and then they get free pollination service from these bugs that come and visit them and help them reproduce.
Pollen itself. Now that's a bit of a mystery. Now, do the bees, do they ever sneeze from the pollen? Does that make them sneeze?
No.
Okay.
No, although I have 2 tortoises back there and they do sneeze sometimes.
From the pollen.
I don't know why. Probably just to act cute.
Well, it is cute. You know, the cutest sneeze is a kitten.
I used to say the same. What's cuter than a sneezy kitten? It turns out a sneezing tortoise is just this much cuter. I'm serious. Oh yeah. I'll try to get it on camera for you.
I would appreciate that. I think we'll cut that in if you can send that in time.
Exactly.
I'm a pretty fast editor, so don't delay. Are there flowers that bees will just completely let you take care of that?